Hi, girls and boys and girls. I'll tell you what, this is one of my heroes right here. This is President Abraham Lincoln. And in this book, just a few words, Mr. Lincoln, the story of the Gettysburg Address by Gene Fritz. It tells you about how President Abraham Lincoln came to be President of the United States. As soon as he was elected, the war started out, war between the states broke out. And President Lincoln wanted to keep the North and the South together because we were one United States and we should be able to work out our differences. So President Lincoln came to the White House with two goals: to free the slaves and to end the Civil War. You know what? This man, Abraham Lincoln, was a very busy man. He had people writing him letters wanting him to give him his autograph. And remember, way long time ago in 1861, there wasn't as much security as there are now around the President of the United States. People could just come up to the White House and just come in unannounced and didn't have to make an appointment or anything. And they just come in there, and he was trying to get things done. Well, you can imagine how that kind of made him aggravated, but he wanted to meet the people and greet the people and stuff. So find out in here how they solved that problem. Then he had a young son. His name was Tad. You know what? That's not really his name. His President Lincoln named his son Tad. That was a nickname for tadpole because he was kind of wiry and he was always moving around and stuff. But you want to know what his real name was? I never knew it until I read this book. And then it tells how President Lincoln, he was 6'4", big tall guy. He always wore a stove top hat, that big old hat. You know, I know you've seen it before. And hey, find out in here why he didn't sign his name Abraham Lincoln. He signed it A. Lincoln. A. Lincoln. I never knew that either. This book is chock full of information about President Abraham Lincoln. It tells about some of the soldiers, about him going to the battlefields, and he goes to Gettysburg because there was a big battle there. And a lot of men lost their lives on the north and the south side. And they were going to dedicate the Gettysburg Cemetery. And President Lincoln came there and he gave a speech. It's called the Gettysburg Address. Boys and girls, it's phenomenal. You're going to learn a lot about the Gettysburg Address as you continue and go through school. So, hey, get this book. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of unanswered. Hey, find out where he slept on the night of the Gettysburg Address. Find out who gave a speech right before him. Find out if the people liked the speech that the person before him gave, and then see what they thought about Abraham Lincoln's address, his speech when they got done. So get this book, Just a Few Words, Mr. Lincoln, the story of the Gettysburg Address by Gene Fritz. And you also want to know, you'll find out in here why it says just a few words, Mr. Lincoln. I guarantee you. This is the story of the Gettysburg Address by Gene Fritz. Hey, this is Mr. Dean. Thanks for joining me with another Mr. Dean's Outdoor Reading Adventures.